Hello everyone, and today we are here with my review of Super Mario 3D World. This is the sequel to Super Mario 3D Land on the Nintendo 3DS. This was 3D Land, I believe, was a launch title or a very close launch title for the 3DS when the 3DS first came out. And as we all know, the 3DS wasn't doing so well at launch. So this was kind of a big deal when this game was there as oh wow, we can have a full-on 3D Mario game out there. And the 3D Land helped sell the 3DS, and now we have the sequel, 3D World. So unlike previous reviews which I've done for New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe or Sonic Forces, instead of it being highly scripted and highly edited, what I'm doing for this one is we're just going to try and see how this one works, where I am going to go more off the cuff, be more loosey-goosey with my review, kind of like how I am with all my other reviews when I review like a show or a movie. I'm going to kind of do that with the games, and we're going to see how this goes, and if you guys prefer the more scripted version or kind of off the cuff one like this. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. So first off, what's the plot of 3D World? Basically, there are these princesses, Sprixie princesses. They're like pixies, but, Sprixies. Bowser captures them because he wants to use their power, and you gotta go through all of the different places of the Sprixie Kingdom and save them. That is the plot. So, again, it's a Mario game. The plot is not the big thing. The big thing of a Mario game is, of course, the gameplay and the fun you can have. So, let's go into the gameplay. I think the gameplay is really fun. I really like the gameplay of it. It does the traditional Mario thing of having, world, dash, whatever, and then there's like 7 or so levels in the world. It keeps that traditional Mario format, but it basically just, what this game is it's just a traditional Mario game, but in 3D. Like, the level layouts, you can see how this game is just a regular Mario game, but 3D. It's like, essentially just take a 2D Mario game and turn it 3D. That's how it works. That's how the levels are designed, and that's how it's kind of structured. And I actually like that. I think that's a really cool twist. It's a really good idea for, at this point, for trying to get a 3D multiplayer Mario game out there. Because I played the Switch version, of course. I did not play the Wii U version, which is how 3D World initially came out. I should have. I stress this. I really should have back then. I had a Wii U, and what was I using it for? Smash Wii U, Lego City Undercover, and Mario Kart 8. Right? And then I had like third-party games on there, which I really shouldn't have, because let's be honest, Nintendo's not used for third-party. You don't use Nintendo for third-party crap. Use it for its first-party stuff. So, I should have gotten this game. And I actually wanted it back then. I remember like watching YouTube videos of this game and being like, oh man, I should get that. But I just never did. Thankfully, now that they re-released it for the Switch, I got it. And I finally played it, and it's great. So, the Switch version does have different things, different from the Wii U version, of course, because, the gamepad is not a thing anymore. The Wii U gamepad is not a thing, so they had to change some stuff around. Stuff that you would normally tap on, like, the Wii U gamepad to make work, now you have to use the gyroscope pointer, which, right off the bat, I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't think it was really implemented that well. They don't really do a good job of telling you how to use how the gyroscope immediately works. Like, they don't tell you how to use the gyroscope. I had to figure that out on my own by just randomly pressing buttons and figuring out how to activate the gyroscope. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you, hey, use the gyroscope. It's this button. They don't tell you that, which I think you should, especially because, people who are playing the Wii U version are probably like, okay, how do I do this, right? How are they going to change it? And then people who haven't, like me, are like, I'm confused on what I do here. So, you should have done that. The gyroscope, it's fine. It doesn't work all that well. It doesn't align itself all that well. It's very finicky. But that's just the Switch. That's just the gyroscope in general. Not just specific to this game. That's just the gyroscope in general. Getting back to the gameplay, I think this game works buttery smooth. It does have the problem I have with most Mario games where there's a freaking run button, which, oh my god, I hate the run button. I hate the idea of a run button. Just run. Just like, the more you move forward, the quicker your character runs. That's how I prefer it. Speaking of characters, you got your basic Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad. You can unlock Rosalina after you beat the game. After you beat the main story and you get like the post-game worlds unlocked, you have to beat the second level of the first post-game world, and then you unlock Rosalina. And that level is based off of Super Mario Galaxy, and it's hard, but it's challenging hard. It's the fun type of hard where it's like, it's a challenge, right? It's not like hard makes you want to rip your throat out, right? It's hard in the thing where it's like, no, you're like, no, I can do this. It's just, I need to lock in, right? So yeah, no Yoshi, which I was shocked. No Toadette. Yeah, I was shocked by the limited amount of people. But I mean, it was built for 4-player co-op, so I guess they didn't feel like to add anymore. But yeah, I'm shocked. It's just Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, and then Rosalina after the fact. So there's 5 characters. Yeah, no Yoshi, no Toadette, no Daisy. I was like, okay. But, whatever. They all pretty much operate the same, other than I believe Peach can still do her glide with her dress. I might be wrong about that. I only played as Peach once, and it was to get a switch that was like, you need a specific character. Speaking of, there are switches in the levels that can only be hit by a specific character, so they do kind of encourage you to play as everyone. Type of thing. I mainly mained as Mario just because he's the man, and I played as Peach once, and that was to hit a switch. Other than that, I was Mario the whole game. So, power-ups in the game is your standard. You got your mushroom, your fire flower, you got... They reintroduced the Giga Mushroom back into it, so you become super huge and you can just stomp through things. So that is brought back into it. I'm trying to think about what else, other things there is. I mean, there's shells that you can kick and all that, but that's not really a power-up. Oh yeah, Tanuki is back, of course, because Tanuki was a big part of 3D Land. So 3D World brings in the Tanuki. He's not that big of a part in this one. The big advertising thing for this one is the cat suit. This game, I believe, was the introduction of the cat suit, and it is the best power-up by a country mile. You can attack people with it. You can climb up walls. You can kind of do a little mid-air hover thing by using the attack thing, right? So the cat power-up is easily the best power-up in the game. Which, I mean, if you're gonna advertise this new power-up, you gotta make it the best one, and it is. In this game and future, the cat power is the best. They also introduce the white cat suit, which is like invincibility. You are invincible, and you have all the powers of a cat. They normally give you this one when you failed a level a couple times. This is them kind of like, oh, do you need a little help, buddy? Do you need a little help? And you're like, yeah, I do. I succumbed to the white cat power a couple times when I was just frustrated and I just couldn't do it anymore. And I'm just like, damn it, get me out of here. So I used the white cat power up. What else can I say here before I get into like stuff like bosses? Worlds, nothing too crazy. They're your standard ones. There's like Ice World, Desert World. But even though there are Ice World, Desert World, not all the levels are like ice and desert, right? That's just like the framework of you're in an ice world, but then you go and you're in a circus, that type of thing. So getting into bosses, the mini bosses, nothing too crazy. It's just regular like Boom Boom or Pom Pom, like nothing too crazy. Captain Chuck or whatever his name is. There's like the metal dude. There is one where okay, like they get like those the mini boss. The mini bosses are really easy. The mini bosses you can do easy. The actual bosses, there's a like rock volcano dude who you have to throw rocks at him. He can be quite challenging. There's Aristocrat, whatever his name is. He's like a snake thing. You fight him, and then you fight his wife later on. Those ones can actually be a bit difficult, and that's mainly due to the fact that there is a bit of a problem with the cat power-up, which is Jumping while climbing ends you, and that sucks. Also, the cat sometimes doesn't climb all the way up. Like, you get to the top, and it just doesn't go forward. It just stays in one space, and then you fall down again. That is a problem with the cat suit, which they did not end up fixing in Bowser's Fury, which this game was bundled with. That's still a problem. But what other... Oh, yeah, there's one dude where he becomes a bigger version of himself, and then he, like, stomps, and then a bunch of goop goes everywhere, and you have to avoid the goop and hit him. So, there's that one. But the big fights are the Bowser ones. The Bowser fights. Bowser, mainly you fight him in his car, which is crazy, fighting Bowser in the car. You pretty much just have to avoid his, like, his fireballs that he shoots at you, and then he throws bombs at you, and you kick them back, which is another mechanic, which is you can kick things. You can kick shells, you kick bombs a lot, not just the ones in this Bowser fight. They do show up in regular levels too, and you kick them. So that's fun. I was, like, very worried, like, how do you do the kicking? You just run into them, and you kick them like a soccer ball. Maybe that's a Mario Strikers reference. Ooh. So yeah, the Bowser car fights are good. The first one's pretty simple. The second one, they do amp it up a bit. His car is kind of more blinged out, and you do have to avoid, like, spikes that are there as well. And then the final fight with Bowser. Meowser, I guess you should say, because Bowser actually gets a cat bell of his own. And then you have to scale a tower while climbing. That one, in idea, is pretty good. You know, scaling the tower, playing super epic music while you climb and avoid Bowser. There are bits of it that I did not enjoy, and that they're particularly the scrolling camera aspect. The thing's a scrolling cam. So the thing moves up, and you have to stay in sight of the camera, and if you fall below, you die, right? I hate that. I hate scrolling cams. They are stupid. I hate them so much with every fiber of my being. And especially when a lot of the platforms are the cloud things that disappear when hit, and Bowser will try and swipe at you. You then have to wait for them to come back, and you usually end up dying because of it. Yeah, that sucks. I don't like that. Another reason why I don't like scrolling cameras. I don't like scrolling cameras. They suck. But overall, I thought the final boss was fun and suitably epic for the game. Oh, I should also mention another power-up I mentioned. There's the double cherry, where when you hit it, you get a double of yourself. And you do need to use that because sometimes there'll be platforms that'll say, like, 3. So there needs to be at least 3 copies of you to go do that. It's whatever. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes I'm annoyed. There's levels with Plessy, where you're, like, riding in water, or you're on sand dunes. You know, like, those are fun. I actually enjoyed those levels. Those levels are quite fun. The collectibles in the game that you're after are, like, in Mario Deluxe, it's like you're after star coins, right? Like, there's 3 star coins in every level, and you want to get them. For this one, you're after green stars. And they're not just a, like, fun little side collectible. You do need to collect them to advance the story, because there will be, like, you know, like boss levels and castles that are, like, locked off unless you have a certain amount of green stars. If I am right, in order to complete the main story, you need 170 stars, green stars, which I was a bit short on, so then I had to go around and search and get some more stars. So there's 3 stars in every level. You get green stars from beating mini bosses and all that stuff, so finding them, it's not that hard. It's just getting them. Like, there's an abundance of green stars for you to get. Like, they even had these things like challenge rooms, where one challenge room will be like, you'll be timed for like 10 seconds. You have to go through a vast amount of rooms as quick as you can, right? Or there'll be like little obstacles, and you have 10 seconds. Quickly go get the green star before it disappears and all that stuff. Those challenge rooms are fun. They are fun. They are not hard. They are actually genuinely fun. I enjoy the challenge rooms. Another way to get green stars is Captain Toad is in the game, and this was his debut, I believe, and you can do Captain Toad levels. They are like isometric levels where you have to move the entire thing around, and you have to walk and get stars. You cannot jump. You have to go through the level walking, trying to avoid all the disasters and get all the green stars. Now, these levels were super popular, so popular that Captain Toad ended up getting his own video game, which I am debating on getting because I do enjoy the Captain Toad levels. I thought they're really fun. They're nice little like break from doing the like typical running around the 3D levels. You get something like this, which is kind of 2D like, moving around with Captain Toad. You get something like that. I kind of enjoyed that. It's a nice break. I don't know if I can do that a full game of that, right? Because that's a full game of just levels like that. I don't know if I can do that. They're good as like good break mini games, so we'll see if I buy Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Obviously the Switch version, which is different because the Switch version of Treasure Tracker is a prequel to 3D World, which makes sense, right? It explains how Captain Toad ended up here. But then the Switch version is instead a prequel to Odyssey, which takes place after 3D. It's freaking weird. It's weird. Nintendo was just trying to do brand synergy at the time, I guess, because Odyssey was out, so whatever. Okay. Don't. Nintendo does when Nintendo does. Yeah. But ending off this little rambling review here, I really enjoyed 3D World. By doing 3D World, you just come to the realization I'm a 3D game guy at the heart of it. And that's not, like, especially when it comes to, like, the Mario 2D platformers or Sonic 2D platformers, I'm more prefer 3D, I guess, because that's just a lot more better for me. It's a lot easier for me. Skill issue, I know, but 3D games, they're just more my thing, right? Like, when I play a Sonic game, I so look forward to the 3D levels, and I dread the 2D ones. That's not to say the 2D ones are bad, because there's really good 2D levels in Sonic games, but a lot of the time, when I'm playing a game like Sonic Generations, or Sonic Forces, or Sonic Frontiers, I love in Frontiers just running around the freaking, open world zone, right? But then when I go into the cyberspace levels, I love the 3D ones more than the 2D ones. Same thing with Generations. I play the 3D levels more than I do the 2D levels. I love just, going back into like the Green Hill level and just zooming through it. Having a great time. Or going to Speed Highway and just zooming through that. Like, I love that. And Mario, this is the same thing. I've replayed a bunch of these levels over and over again because they're just fun to go in the 3D landscape and just go through it, explore, have fun. I don't do that with 2D levels. I don't go back to 2D levels in games unless I absolutely need to. But I have a lot more fun in 3D spaces. So that's why I think I enjoyed this game so much. It's also just a really well-made game. Even on the Wii U back then, that was like one of the few things people were praising about the Wii U in its catalog was that we have 3D World, which is good. But now it's on the Switch, so most people are going to play it on the Switch, so you don't need it on the Wii U anymore. It's free from the Wii U purgatory. But yeah, I think 3D World is overall just a great game. It's a fantastic game. Is it my favorite Mario game? No, but it's a damn good one. Absolutely. I think my favorite Mario game will probably always be Super Mario Galaxy. Unless something can top it. But yeah, at the moment, Galaxy's number one. Galaxy is king. I know, I'm such a hot take. But 3D World, it's fun. Like, that's the thing I can say. I had fun. There is, like, every now and then, you will come across a bad level. Just a poorly designed, bad level that hurts. And I'm like, God, that sucked. But 90% of the time, I go through a level, I'm like, that was fun. I enjoyed that. I had fun. Yeah, but there is that 10% of levels where you're just like, this is bad. I don't like this. Right? Like, I don't like this. Yeah. I should also say, hit detection at times, like, depth perception sucks at times, but again, that's just me bad depth perception. My problem, no, not the game. Yeah, 3D World, it's awesome. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It's like a solid game that, like, if people are like, hey, you wanna play 3D World? I'm like, sure, awesome. And I can totally see myself going back, because I have not got all the green stars yet. So I can totally see myself going back and just playing the game again, trying to get all the green stars, That's good as well, because it has post-game content for you to do. You get all the green stars, and they have post-game worlds for you to do as well. So yeah. Overall, Super Mario 3D World, I know I'm not breaking new ground by saying it's a really good game. I give it an 8 out of 10. So that's gonna do it for me. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys love Super Mario 3D World? Of course you do. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this more rambling, off-the-cuff style review rather than being scripted all the time. Let me know what you guys prefer. Thank you all so much for listening. I'll see you guys all next time.